we have our last speaker for the day today. We are running behind schedule of time, so we will quickly call our main speaker for today's day, Mr. Akbar Jiwani sir. Sir, recently he has been a very renowned PMC across Mumbai, and he is regularly featured in the news and media. He has got a very prominent article come in Hindustan Times on 53 MHADA societies in Kandivali going for 33 by 5. So he is going to present it case by case basis. Apart from this also, sir has been a part of CII conferences and other important conferences. So I'll just quickly call on our last speaker for the day, and he'll take you through it, and then we can open the forum for question and answers.
We'll start. So, hello everyone. I am PMC Akbar Jiwani, doing redevelopment of housing societies, and especially catering to MHADA layouts only, because it is a blessing to be having a residence house in MHADA. We'll just go through it. So today we are going to understand basically only regulation 33(5), right? Now there are a lot of items are there. So one is we'll just go through the overview of it. What is the FSI entitlement? What is the incentive FSI? What is surplus area distribution, sharing versus premium? Redevelopment process timeline we'll see, and the most important component is pro rata. Okay. Fungible FSI, and then what is LR-RC ratio? That we are going to understand. And what will be the best practices, what can be the cash flow milestone, case studies we will see, and what are the benefits. So basically 33(5), if you see, few slides I'll just take to introduce myself or what I'm doing, and then we'll start with I'm PMC. I'm also registered with RERA, GST practitioner, associated with Builders Association of India. Our chairman is also here, and so basically I'm also on YouTube with there. Almost more than 1 lakh subscribers are there, where we upload all these videos and all that. I'm currently doing 3010 projects, construction going over 2.5 crores, and projects worth 38,000 crores are there. Basically I'm doing large clusters only, and that is why I see that. I was also awarded the best PMC award at the CIA, and I do regularly conference also every 2 months at MHADA, just to update everyone on redevelopment, the process, the procedure, how it is being done and what is there. I also conduct workshops for the PMCs or the architects or the basically the legal persons who also want to be a part of redevelopment and how it is being done. I am also working as a consultant for the Class 2, Class 1 conversion of collector's land. These are the all stumbling blocks for Mumbai city to develop. So trying to do what best of it is. I'm also PMC, and basically you see there's all MHADA clusters of Malwani is there. Mahindra, sorry, Motilal was just a consultant in that, where the whole battle went for 10-15 years only to fight for a pro rata FSI. Okay, so that also we'll understand what is pro rata and how it is the hidden jewel in the MHADA 33(5). So basically this 33(5), 33(7)(a), 33(5) is left out, that we are starting off, and just let us see what is introduction to regular 33(5). It governs the redevelopment of MHADA world. So basically whichever societies, housing societies are there on MHADA land, the regulation 33(5) applies. The basic FSI is 3, and the whole foundation is on the LR-RC ratio. Do everyone know what is the LR-RC ratio?
Land rate and rate of construction.
Huh?
Land rate and the rate of construction.
Yeah, so how it impacts the eligibility, financial viability of a project, we'll see to that. Fungible is always there, and how a developer gets incentive FSI and how it is calculated based on the LRC ratio and the size of the plot. Okay. So objective outcome is regulatory clarity will get, strategic comparison, entitlement. Slides are small, I think may not be readable. So 33.5 basically provides comprehensive framework for reconstruction of MHADA buildings. FSI entitlements are seen, benefit sharing between society and MHADA, premium payment alternatives are there. There are MHADA rental schemes, ownership scheme, board of authority, housing board is there. So basically the goal is aging stocks are there, how it can be redeveloped into better, bigger and smarter homes. Right? Who can use it? The housing types, there are categories, EWS, LIG, MIT, all are there. So basically the 4 building blocks of FSI structure, if you see, will be the base FSI, which is 3. The base FSI is 3 and rehabilitation FSI is calculated. Based on that, the incentive FSI is calculated, right? And the fungible is always there at the last end to add 35% to it, right? So we are going to understand how high potential FSI we are going to get, what will be the rehabilitation area, what will be the flexible options in terms of sharing and premium. So we will understand case study in which case you should offer stock to MHADA and in which case you should pay premium and take the 100% extra area. That is the basic. At the end of the session we are going to understand that only, how LRC ratio impacts and what is beneficial into sharing of premium, which came into 2022. So FSI 3 to 4 is the 4th FSI if you cross 4,000 in town and 6,000 in suburbs. So you get that extra FSI. So where MHADA says, I will take a percentage of the housing stock. Okay. So percentage is 30%, 40 or 60 or 70 will depend on the LRC ratio. Okay. So whatever I am saying, we can refer back also, but just remember how we are going to do. What is the regulatory framework? We are governed by the DCPR 34. There is a notification of July 21, then November 22. So we come under MHADA Act, Maharashtra Cooperative Act and Redevelopment is there. The whole project viability is depending on the ASR rate, the annual rate of that property, which can be 60,000 to 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs also. So all premiums, calculations are all done on that land rate. This is called the land rate. So in regulatory, as I just explained, okay, we are going to understand the base FSI, incentive, MHADA offer NOC and that. GR notification of 21 was just to improve how best 33.5 can be implemented, and then in 22 came the amendment to choose whether you want to give stock or you want to pay the premium money. Okay. So before 22 it was not allowed, it was compulsory, you had to give stock, but that became unviable. The projects were becoming unviable, so no one was taking forward to come to take any of the MHADA projects. Okay. So rightly now they are trying their best to give whatever can happen to attract the larger developers and all, and you can see now even the larger developers are taking care of them. So before amendment, premium now available for all plots. Previously it was compulsory, now it is allowed, you can pay premium to all the So eligibility definition criteria we have to understand now. LRC ratio, the built-up FSI, the rehab component and the balance free sale. What is critical is the land rate, and what you are going to get priority is the pro rata. Okay. So let us understand the plot sizes are there which less than 2,000, 4,000 and hectares. So it is calculated in hectares, 1 to 5,000 meters, 4 to 4,000 meters, 5,000 meters, 5,000 to 1 hectare, 1 hectare to 2 hectare, 2 to 5. So there are different incentive FSIs given as per the size of the plot, and accordingly the sharing is also offered in terms of that. So FSI entitlement basically is the base FSI is 3. Rehab, how it is calculated, like if it is 4,000 or 6,000 in the suburbs, then even if you have a 200 square foot room, 220 by 250, your base becomes 35 meters, that is 376 square feet. Okay. So I'll show you illustration how then the 376 way, how additional FSI is added as incentive to the rehab from 10% to 30%. Okay. So FSI entitlement is basically your base FSI is there, rehab FSI is there. So if it is below 4,000 or 6,000, then you get simple benefit of 5% to 10% additional incentive, and on that 35% fungible is given. Alright. The moment it crosses 4,000, so then the incentive rehab area. Like I am the PFC for 53 societies in MHADA, Kandivali. It is around 48,000 square meters. So presently they are occupying 225 square feet. But with the plot area, high density, they are eligible to get 635. So it is a win-win situation. But the whole idea is that when it will remain till 33.5 and when it will go to 33.9. Because they have a FSI cap, they are saying 4. But the pro rata then changes the whole game. Like FSI is 4, even it is 33.9, 33.5. But if you see the reclamation area in front of Leelavati, they are getting 12 FSI because of the pro rata. Okay, so pro rata is the whole layout. That whole layout which has internal roads, which has gardens, amenities, whatever MHADA share is there, internal gardens and all that, which are not blocked by BLC. That area FSI is then distributed amongst the total tenements in that layout. Okay, so we'll see the classic example of Motilal Nagar. I'll show. So it will be better you can understand what pro rata plays a role in that, right? So basically additional carpet area on the existing, if it is above 4,000 to 2 hectares, you get 15% extra. So even if you have 225 square foot, you are getting 376, and on that additional incentive is there, and then you get the fungible. So this is a table how land between 2 to 5, 5 to 10, up to 35, like 50% extra is on the base that they are getting. Okay. So how 3 to 4 we are seeing for larger plots, plot area 4,000, that is for south, 6,000 for north, fronting road 18 meters, that sir already explained, and subject to government approval, minimum built up 60% must be. So there is a condition also, minimum XYZ percent in that complex should be EWS, LIG, MIG or whatever it is, you know. So rehabilitation area entitlement is, if up to 4,000 you get 35%, and above 4,000 to 2 hectares 15%. So overall you get 50% increase entitlement. This is before fungible. After that fungible is added. So depends on the size of the plot or the layout. The incentives are calculated 35, 50, 60, 70, 80. So that is the beauty of being in MHADA. In a private land there is nothing as incentive FSI. There is nothing of that. It is only pure what you get plus fungible. You know. So these are the incentives given to the developer and to the tenements also. So incentive FSI is calculated on LRC ratio. Okay. So up to 2, if it is less than 2, the incentive FSI is 70%. If it is 2 to 4, 60%, 401 to 50%, and above 6 is 40. So are you very clear about LRC, or should I explain that first? Should I continue the way it is? Okay. Because we will come to LRC also ultimately. Okay. So incentive FSI is, if LRC is greater than 3, 70% incentive. If LRC is 2 to 3, 60. If LRC is 2 up to 15% incentive you are getting. Okay, so basically how it is there, incentive FSI on LRC ratio table B is up to 2 acres, incentive is 70% maximum. So the higher the density, the plot is there, the higher the density, the LRC ratio is reduced to less than 2. So less than 2 means the land rate is also low, heavily populated. So more incentive has to be given to make a project viable. Okay. So 2 to 4 up to 60% is high and above 6 is standard. So example, if an area of 10,000 with a LRC of 1.5, then incentive of 7,000 square meters will be there. Plot may 7,000 will be the incentive FSI given to them. So surplus area distribution is there, where how area that also surplus MHADA का share कितना होगा, that is also depending on the LRC ratio. Okay, so if the LRC ratio is less than 2, then the society share or the developer share. Ultimately, it comes to the developer, then only it is becoming viable. So MHADA gets 55%. If it is 2 to 4, it is 40%. MHADA gets 60%. If it is 4 to 6, 35%. And if it is above 6, then MHADA gets 70%. That is because these are the areas where the land rate is very high. You know, so it is a win-win situation for everyone. So complete FSI distribution is total FSI, whether it is 3 to 4, rehabilitation 35 to 80%, as I just explained, and incentive FSI 40 to 70%. Now balance FSI is there, where either it is shared or premium. So society gets 30-70, okay. Society share is 100% if the society, I mean, you take it as a developer only, okay, because in spite of getting so much of that, you still cannot say that pro rata incentive FSI also a tenant should get. So this is how these options are given, where we see what is sharing and premium, okay. LRC is due to EWS, MIG, so there are categories, you all know EWS is there, MIG is there. So the percentage of ready reckoner rate is 40%. If it is for EWS layout, MIG it is 60%, 80%. So high income group cluster redevelopment hota hai, so MHADA takes a more higher percentage on the ready reckoner rate. Okay. So same way it goes, LRC ratio is 0 to 4, 2 to 4, 4 to 6 and above 6. Okay. So final comparison we have to see, it may not be seen here, sharing model or premium model, how we have to see where it is more likely. So route 1 is sharing balance area, sharing versus premium. So sharing and route 2, how do you decide okay, what is beneficial to you, sharing or premium? That has to be worked out. Since it is not clear, small other you will not be able to see it. So I'm just going through it. Okay, option 1, housing society, how it works. Share built up area with MHADA as per table C2. I will share this presentation, so then you can refer to all the tables what I have done. And the other is option 2 is the premium payment. How you can do the payment. So in premium, basically you retain 100% of the buildable FSI. Okay, and only in housing stock. So how does it work? Society gets 45% to 55% if it is sharing as per the LRC ratio. This I think we saw again. So option 2, premium payment 60% of land rate. If premium is 60% of 2 lakhs. So suppose if the land rate is 2 lakh, 5,000 square meters is the MHADA share. So the 60 crores you pay to MHADA and take 100%, retain 100% of the build-up component, that is the 4th FSI. Okay. So route 2 is you get 100% society share, total control premium obligation is there, so no more incoming of anything coming from MHADA. Okay. So decision framework is plot size 4,000 and less, 4,000 and more. Both sides we are getting to pay, allowed to be paid premium. Okay, so table C is there, option available, sharing is there and premium is there. So developer viability, route 1, route 2. How will the developer decide that I would want to give share. Okay, so it all depends on the LRC ratio and what is getting him the most benefits. Whatever he gets the benefit, he has to decide कि अगर मैं प्रीमियम भरता हूँ तो मुझे इतना करोड़ भरना है, अगर मैं स्टॉक देता हूँ तो मुझे कितना पैसा भरना है, और how cash flow will impact. Okay, with sharing he doesn't have to put in that money. So balance FSI, and this is how premium calculations are done, which I just showed it to you. So final comparison we have done. I'll just jump through this because it's too small. So which route to choose? Smaller plot, premium, then sharing. So if the plots are small, 1000, 1500, 2000, it is best to pay premium and let MHADA stay away, right? If it's a larger plot, cash flow is required if you want to pay premium, which you have to pay. If it is sharing, then that you can skip for that project that way. So premium calculation 5000 meters, 2 lakh hai, 100 crores hota hai value, so you have to pay 65 crores. Okay. So redevelopment process timeline, I'll just brush through. Society level, I think everyone knows 79A, I don't have to mention much about that. MHADA offer letter, NOC, premium payment, NOC, no due certificate, everything has to be procured. Then you go to municipality for IOD, CC, or even now MHADA also is the planning authority. Then this is the construction portion and handover. So this is timeline process. Choosing the development route, the developer has to decide on the LRRC ratio. Thank you, sir. He has to choose based on he has to do the understanding of this LRRC route, then the market absorption and the developer capacity. Society regulations are accordingly done. So basically, step by step is feasibility, MHADA, NOC, IODCC, society registration, option and construction. So checklist is there. So basically, I'll just come down to what we need to understand the pro rata. Okay, this is the main subject, how it is calculated. We need to understand that. So reserved assets are there, internal, which are not of the BMC. Internal gardens are there, internal roads are there. So it's a huge layout of MHADA. So they have internal roads, but the landowner is MHADA. So that area, any garden made, those are the amenity spaces are there, which MHADA makes a total out of it and calculates what is that FSI, how much area goes to that way. So a total plot of 10,000 square meters, if a reservation is there 1,000, that may go to BMC. So you are left with 9,000. Now internal road LOS area is 4,000. So that 10,000 plot becomes net plot 5,000. Okay. So on 5,000 you are going to get your 3 FSI, right? And on that, after that you are going to get your 35% fungible. Now this 4,000 plot area, MHADA calculates at 3. So it becomes 12,000 square meters. Okay. So this 12,000 square meters, now in this whole layout, if there are 300 members, flats, they may be of different societies, different buildings, but MHADA has a layout which has say 10-20 buildings with individual tenants. That is, total is arrived. So suppose if there are 300, so 300 divided by 12,000. So each per member, MHADA besides 3 FSI, besides incentive FSI, still gives you 40 square meters per member. आए ध्यान में 3 FSI you are getting, plus अगर आपको बड़ा होगा area wise, that incentive is added 10%, 15, 20, plus your fungible, plus this pro rata is given. Okay, that is at least 400 square meters per flat is what MHADA gives you to build extra. Okay. So suppose this is the layout. Okay. This is MHADA layout. This is actually what I am doing, Malvanika. So we are doing only this much part. Okay. 53 buildings. Each flat is of 225 square feet. Whole layout is 1,15,000. But we are doing is 48,000 square meters. So 225, because it is between 2 hectare to 5 hectare. So base I will take as 35 square meters. On that I will add 25%, which makes it 4375. On that I will add fungible. So it comes to 635. Now I have still not added pro rata. Though in this layout, the pro rata area, gardens, internal road is very less. So even if I take as 10 square meters, it is 100 meters extra. So there are 3,488 flats in this 53 buildings. So into 10 we karo to 35,000 square meter I am getting extra, so that is equal to 1 FSI. Right. So this is how it is calculated, and I always call it as the hidden jewel pro rata. Okay, now for further example we will see. So this column is there, which MHADA also gives you in writing. This much units, this much area, 3 FSI, pro rata per member, total this, and then if you give you, if this column if you see, it is from 5 FSI to 7 FSI in this same layout. Okay, so this is how it is calculated. Residential tenements 300, reserved area 4,000, pro rata principal FSI on reserved area is distributed equally among members. Pro rata FSI formula, total reserved FSI divided by total number of tenants. Reserved area includes internal roadways, pathways, garden, recreation ground, playground, open space, community of MHADA itself. Whatever has to be given to municipality is separate. So each member gets equal share of FSI from reserved areas regardless of their plot size. So within that whole layout, someone may have 500 meters, someone may have 1000 meters, but it is divided by the number of flats. Okay. So this is how it is calculated. 12,000 square meters, that is 3 FSI on 4,000, divided by 300 to 40 square meters is given. So there are instances where people fight for this also. ये भी हमको मिलना चाहिए. That is what actually happened at Motilal Nagar. So they are having 600 meters. Okay, they got a pro rata FSI of 1800 square feet. तो 600 पे 300, right? 3 FSI, उसके ऊपर 35%, उसके ऊपर fungible और उसके ऊपर 1800. So if I told them, if you spend your own money and you do the development, then 600 square foot is allowed to build 3,600. Okay. But the whole idea is a big layout, so a lot of money goes in the infrastructure, lights, drainage system, power system, which the developer spends, to which everyone has to understand. So finally, even then also that 600 square foot, MHADA is given them 1650 carpet. Okay. But what happened? They went to the court. 10-12 साल हो गया. ऐसे 10-12 साल हो गया, आधी जिंदगी निकल गई, और लड़ोगे तो और आधी जिंदगी निकल जाएगी बच्ची भी. तो हैव अ पॉजिटिव अप्रोच कि कैसा करना चाहिए. उसमें कोई आर्किटेक्ट ने बोल दिया नहीं तुमको तो 2400 मिलना चाहिए, तो ये लोग चले आजाद मैदान. तो ऐसे बी प्रैक्टिकल इन व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. 600 का भी 16.5 मिलता है, कोई प्राइवेट लैंड में कभी नहीं मिलता है, अनलेस इट इज प्राइम एरिया लाइक बैंडस्टैंड और वालकेश्वर और समथिंग. सो दैट हैज टू बी अंडरस्टूड कि ये 600 का किधर भी कोई भी रीडेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स में जाओ 40-50% से किसी को मिलता नहीं है. दिस इज ओनली MHADA दैट इज गिविंग यू ऑल दिस लिबर्टीज दैट वे. So this is not clear, but I'll just read it out for you. This plot is 589 square meters. Okay. 3 FSI was added, and in 500 the pro rata is added 3,600 square meters. तो 500 मीटर ऊपर है, नीचे 5989 स्क्वायर मीटर हो गया। तो 10-11 FSI हो गया। दिस इज अ बैंड्रा रेक्लेमेशन। सो दिस इज FSI कैप है, 4 FSI कैप, 3 कैप है, लेकिन प्रो रेटा ऐड करने के लिए देयर इज नो कैप। सो दैट इज हाउ they are getting 11 FSI, 12 FSI। हाँ वो तो है, लेकिन देयर इज डिस्क्रिशनरी होता है ना। सी द इश्यूज हमारे में दो चीज है, अपना DCR में पूरा नीट एंड क्लीन है, सब है, बट देयर आर 2 स्टेटमेंट्स। वन इज डिस्क्रिशन ऑफ द MC, उसका मन चाहेगा तो मैं दूंगा, मन चाहेगा तो नहीं दूंगा। ओके, सो दैट इज वन इश्यू इज देयर कि डिस्क्रिशनरी है, VP कोटा से हाथ देने का, नहीं देने का, तुमको नहीं देने का। इसके लिए आई एम नॉट मेंशनिंग दैट, ओके, फॉर दैट। एंड अदर थिंग इज लाइक ओपन स्पेस डेफिशिएंसी। फायर फाइटिंग बोलते हैं ओपन स्पेस रहना चाहिए, इट इज योर ओन सेफ्टी। बट इफ यू वांट to break that requirement, then do it. The government says, MHADA says, BM says, pay us some money and you do it officially. That is called open space deficiency charge. So same लीलावती के सामने building is coming, यही 12 FSI, height 30 by 36, FSI was not getting consumed. So they put up a note, since our hardship is that our FSI is not getting consumed. 9.5 मीटर रिक्वायरमेंट था एज पर द हाइट ऑफ द बिल्डिंग। ओपन स्पेस 9.5 मीटर छोड़ना चाहिए। 35 पेज प्रेजेंटेशन पुट अप रिपोर्ट वाज मेड टू गिव कंसेशन टू देम फ्रॉम 9.5 meters to 3.5 meters.
Oh, that's very lousy then.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't really help in any kind of a. See, you're talking only of taking money and then leveraging that. The basics what is required.
Correct.
That doesn't really make sense.
So it is about your own life. We have to think. फायर फाइटिंग बोलेगा मेरा सिटी बम्बा पूरा घूमना चाहिए, अभी बोलता है खाली आधा घूमेगा तो भी चलेगा। So one side you can leave 6.5 meters, the other side you can leave 3.5. Okay. So it is like if you pay, then you are in your good books, and if you don't want, then your plans cannot be approved. So these are the small things, but then each one has to decide for your own self. Your life is at stake with taking that, but there are provisions are there. So similarly here, this is the layout where we have seen. I just explained to you the 53 societies ka. So these are the different layouts are there of MHADA. Now in that, suppose there are, we'll come to the pro rata. So this is of Motilal Nagar. Okay, so there were Motilal Nagar 1, 2, 3. Okay, so just understand this. Motilal Nagar 1, the area of the plot is 3,15,556. Okay, then 1,47,000 is the internal roads and all that, amenities and all that. So it comes to 2,03,000. Then 1,14,000 is the rehab component. Then the FSI is calculated on that 3 lakhs. Okay, this 147, 114 comes to 318, and so 9,31,404 is the permissible FSI, 9 lakh square meters. Okay, now in this 9 lakh there is some minus of 41,000, so you are left with 471. That 471 is including rehab component and the incentive component. So you are left with 4,17,913 permissible. Members are 2,2058. So that is divided under 2,005 and a pro rata is generated 185 square meters, 185 square meters per member. So almost 1,900 square foot is the pro rata free FSI they are getting. So this is how, but it is coming in the layout plan में लिख के आएगा MHADA से कि your pro rata is this. So there is no hidden secret, but only thing you should have the understanding of what is pro rata, how it is calculated. So ultimately it is mentioned in when they issue the whole layout, they mention the pro rata benefit over here. This is Motilal Nagar 2 and 3. Pro rata, if you see, 2,18,000. Permissible FSI was 5,44,000 square meters. 2 lakh comes residence and incentive. So balance is 2,15,000. There is 1,410. So 2,15,410 divided by 1410, you will get the pro rata figure of so many square meters which can be allowed to build beyond your 3 FSI, 4 FSI, fungible everything. Okay. So this is more clearer, where you can see land use table is there. How that 1,12,000 is there, which is garden DP, so that comes to 1,14,000. But for FSI calculation, it is added for calculation. Existing built-up statement is made for each building. How many buildings are there? They have small clusters. So this is the table prepared. 5 buildings, then each building having 40. So total built up per building 2 lakh. That is total built up 1,040 square meters. That is how the total of the whole layout is calculated. There are different societies, different areas, different buildings. So Motilal Nagar, how it comes: CTS number, building number, number of buildings 5, type design 64, 61, number of tenants per building 8, total 40, built up this 1,040 is your area of statement. Total members 2,258. Pro rata, divide 4,70,913 by 2258. That is you are going to get. So Motilal Nagar here, if you see, it's more, you can see it. FSI is 3, pro rata is 1,992, 185 square meters. 1,992 square foot you are getting free from MHADA, जो प्राइवेट लैंड में कभी किधर सपने में भी नहीं मिलेगा. So this is how it is calculated, and then MHADA gets 50 lakh square foot from the developer in this whole Motilal Nagar. Besides giving pro rata, besides giving the entitlement builder, besides giving all the infrastructure development, who is the winner? Ultimately, even MHADA is the winner because they are getting that stock of 50 lakh square feet. So it becomes a win-win situation for everyone except for the tenants, because if they have understood better pro rata, they are always wanting to fight for that additional area also. Okay? But ultimately